welcome to 169th of our episodes of Day One Match Podcast.
You sound so unsure of that, Ryan.
I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. Adriano's here.
You're temporary host, right?
Temporary
I've
host.
taken over,
You took over
as of last week. Yeah.
I haven't listened to last week's episode. I hope you guys
don't
had
do
a good
that.
one.
Matt does a really, and I mean a really shit impersonation of you.
At least it only lasted a few seconds.
You didn't fool anyone then, hey?
No.
I'm Ryan Johnson. That's what it sounded like.
Oh, so it was a comedic.
It was a comedic, but the first time when we were
You weren't actually attempting.
Because he did it before we were recording, and I gave a genuine laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you have to do that during the podcast, and then he did it during the podcast, and it just fell flat.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate.
I thought you were going to do a genuine impersonation.
I
I was waiting for it. All right. Top stories include, we got some E3 news. I believe E3 is a little over 70 days away, within the 70s somewhere.
78 days away.
Something like that? 78? I never remember the exact day it starts on, so I don't know which day to...
I put the Microsoft press conference in the joint calendar. Like
Oh.
if you scroll down to June, it's in there, the Microsoft one.
Their new date, right? They're on the Sunday now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's a little over, 3 months away then? Which could move pretty quick, although Matt says no, it doesn't move that quick.
It's over 2 months
It'll
away.
be here before you know it.
That's fine, but like we always say that
And
when we get there.
Doesn't it feel like yesterday that we were just down here watching E3?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
That fucking Days Gone or last...
Days Gone?
Days Gone, is
the
that
hit
it?
sequel? Or it's not even, it's a new... Never mind.
What I'm worried about the Monday is that is Sony's conference still going to be in the night? So now we're going to have a Microsoft conference that's not there, an EA conference that's...
I think Sony's probably going to stick with it.
That or like move it, because right, what was it, 9 p.m. LA time?
No, 9 p.m. for us, isn't it?
I thought, oh, okay, maybe, okay. I can see moving up to like 6.
It's just too late for us on the East Coast.
I don't think it's that late. I don't know why people are always like people watch like late night television,
Well, no,
but then something comes on at 9 and it's like, oh, I can't do that.
It's not so much the fact that it is that late; it's the fact that there's such a gap between the previous conference. They had to wait like 5 hours. or
Marty
whatever.
bailed. He didn't even stick around. He's like, I can't do this.
Yeah, so it's rough. Yeah, but anyway, we have a couple E3 stories of what to expect from Xbox and Nintendo. We've got some sad news for GameStop as they're closing 225 stores worldwide.
Is that confirmed?
The number is not confirmed, but they're basing this number off of the percentage of stores they said they'll be shutting.
200. That's a lot of stores.
Yeah,
That is a lot of employees.
but apparently they have 7,500 stores worldwide.
Okay.
We got some Bioware news on Mass Effect Andromeda, and they're going to be they're responding to some of the criticism, and they got some plans of how to fix it coming up. Battlefront 2 has been teased, and we'll be getting a trailer later in April, and then some Destiny stuff, and then we got some Query Corner
questions.
Action.
Query Corner action.
Some Query Corner action. Wow.
That's actually the
Who
philosophical
knows
corner.
what that entails? What's new? What's new, Matt?
I've been playing the Yakuza as well as a little bit of Ghost Recon.
Taking you 100 hours to finish Yakuza?
Yeah,
Or
I
Yakuza?
think I'm something like. I'm above 30 hours anyway. I can't remember the exact number. And my one character just unlocked the ability to change his outfit.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know whether
Wait, that's an ability?
yeah, because I unlocked there's a business mechanic in Yakuza.
Is it like on a tech tree? Like, is it actually on a skill tree? You have to like.
No, it's like you have to, it's just part of the story. It gets introduced, and then it's sort of a way to make money on the side. And it just got introduced to me, and I'm over 30 hours in.
It's kind of weird how they did it. That Western man, that old Western man came up and told me how to level up.
Yeah.
You know, so the
first American guy.
They kind of build it into the story that you actually have to level up or
invest in yourself.
Get
is what
clothes.
they say.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But Ghost Recon. I've been playing Ghost Recon on Xbox. I also
Are you enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it, but only only multiplayer.
Yeah, the hesitation says a lot there, man.
Well, the thing is I don't want to say it's a bad game, but you and I were talking about this earlier, and it's one of these things where it's like I find a game the reason why some games that are repetitive in gameplay are not disappointing is because the story or whatever is unexpected and it's pulling you along. Whereas something like Ghost Recon, after you do 2 missions, you realize that it's not going to stray from what you've just done.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that what you're basically going to do, barring a few, small twists, is that you're going to
Sink shot.
you're going
Drone.
to move into the different
Sink shot.
facilities. You're going to move into the different facilities. You're going to kill people. You're going to either kill your targets, interrogate them, break them out of prison, and then you're going to sometimes like extract them, and that's it. And then you like take down big lieutenants in the Santa Blanca, and then you slowly go after the leader.
Santa Blanca.
And so it's like one of those things where it's like it's fun multiplayer because it's a big multiplayer shooter to just run around in. But I mean, single player, I don't know. Like there's like I wouldn't waste my time.
Right. All right. Adriano, what's new?
Oh, not much. Just working, and
What did you buy today?
I bought Breath of the Wild
For the Wii U.
for the Wii U.
The way it's meant to be played.
Yeah. I don't know. It's apparently it's not. It doesn't run great on it, but it also the Switch version doesn't run great.
Yeah, I heard there's an update coming out. I'm not sure whether it fixes issues on the Wii U. It's probably more tailored for the Switch.
So
But,
some people have said that it already it looks better on the Switch, but runs a little bit better on the Wii U.
right.
So
Which is odd.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, it's not graphically intensive. From what I can
not.
tell, the draw distance is pretty low, and there's not much happening in it, per se. Not a lot of detail, I guess. It's more on the cartoony side than it is on the realism side. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm guessing that it takes more to run a realistic thing. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean the Switch is, from what I've been told anyway, I haven't confirmed this, it is the NVIDIA Shield processor, which was from 2013 or 2012, and it's underclocked.
But
So it's
should it not still be better than the Wii U, at least?
marginally. Not literally marginally, like side per side, whatever. But in comparison to other consoles, it's not great.
Because I've watched like the comparisons between the Wii U version and the Switch version, and I can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what exactly you get out of the Switch version,
The portability.
which almost made me feel like just buying it for the Wii U too.
If I buy it, because I am interested in it, if I buy it, I'd get it on the Wii U.
Yeah.
It's not. Worth
It's
the
not. It's
console.
not. It's not a system seller yet.
It is for the millions of people who bought Switches already.
It's for people who want a Switch and are going to buy a Switch and buy it anyways. But if you're going to just buy Zelda and you have a Wii U, just the problem solved.
Yeah, if you only want Zelda, I mean, the next Zelda game is going to take long enough probably to come out that you can probably get it with the Switch cheaper.
This is I see this as like the final Wii U game. Like there's not going to be anything major on it.
I think they already said that. No more first party titles for the Wii U.
This is it.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked they even honored that.
This is not a scientific survey, but I did see a picture on Twitter of a bunch of Switches in stock. So I'm wondering if the initial craze has already died down. Now, it could have just been a lucky time where the guy caught a new shipment.
Possibly. Where the fuck are my NES classics?
Yeah. But there's no other games apart from Breath of the Wild to keep people wanting that system. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of Nintendo fans and even Zelda fans who might just wait until there's more games that they want to buy the Switch. You know?
Yeah, like Super Mario Odyssey, shit like that.
But when's that coming out?
It should be summer. It's the launch window.
Right.
That's what it is.
Isn't that usually within 3 months?
We also started some WoW.
Oh, Christ, yeah. Now, WoW was one of the games I said I will never play.
And you played it.
And I played it, yeah.
I'm surprised you said you'd never play it.
Just because it was too big. It was the kind of hipster thing. Oh, everyone's playing WoW. I'm not going to be the one who plays WoW. It's one of those deals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I know that Aaron said he wouldn't want to play it because...
Well, he was scared of getting sucked in.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
But I actually think that, like, from seeing his, like, play style, I don't think he would. I think he'd get bored after a couple hours.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it's more RPG, I could see him playing it for a while. Like, I think if he bought Elder Scrolls Online, he'd probably play that quite a bit.
Elder Scrolls Online's a bit almost like it almost feels like a single player game in a way.
That's what I mean.
Like
So
it's
I think,
pretty polished.
I think
experience.
he could get lost in something like that. Maybe not necessarily WoW or anything.
WoW's a bit. WoW's a bit like it feels old just because like it invented
literally is
those
old.
mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I mean,
Yeah, well, it came in 2004, I think it was.
something like that.
Their trademark says 2004 to 2016, or their copyright rather on the menu. What's funny is it doesn't look like they updated anything. I'm sure they have, but just looking at the menu layout and the stuff, it just looks old.
It would probably be like totally different to someone who played the original.
Yeah, and I was talking to Adriano. how well do you think a World of Warcraft 2 would sell?
It's kind of hard to tell really with MMOs. Like I mean, Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 was like completely separate. But I think that people nowadays want to, because they've invested so many hours in their World of Warcraft character. I think they kind of want it to go over. Like even my Division character, I want him to go over.
Mm-hmm. I don't think how much of that though would roll over though. They would have to. They have to level out the worlds.
Well, I mean, if you do something like, I mean, this isn't an MMO, but the second Dead Island, if it's balanced like that, the second Dead Island was made for you to continue with your first game's character.
Really?
Riptide, I think.
But it was more of a big expansion than it was really a sequel, wasn't it?
It was a little weird because you started at like level 12 or something like that, or so I can't remember.
And it's funny because they said it's not a direct sequel. It has nothing. It's not like we don't consider it a direct sequel to the first one, but yet you plays literally the exact same characters seconds after the first game ends. But they did not call it a sequel.
It was like, really weird.
Like really? Like how do you guys?
With Destiny 2, they're actually just bringing over cosmetics. I don't think they're bringing over any weapons or.
See, I'm okay with that. Like if I could just bring over, if I could just bring over like rare.
But my problem is there's not.
I'm sorry. I think Orisa needs like 100 points of health more because she has 400 health for a tank.
Yeah, Adrian was playing Overwatch while we podcast.
I need my loot box.
What was I saying?
The Destiny.
Oh, I don't. Like the Destiny characters aren't that unique enough for me to care about bringing mine over. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of like the look of my character, but I see what you mean. Like, I mean,
are you
like you could piece together what I have pretty easy.
Not only that, even if like you want like you're looking for your armor or whatever, there's probably newer armor you're gonna swap out right away.
Are you saying you don't care just because you fell off Destiny? Like,
no, the character selection is like, oh, here's 4 hair pieces.
Yeah,
here's 3 faces you can choose.
There's not a big difference.
It wasn't like I spent hours crafting this character to bring over.
The game was fun because of the gameplay.
Nor their character choices, so it's not like Mass Effect where you can bring over decisions. There seems really no reason for me to bring over a character. I probably will just because I can, maybe. I don't know. I'll check out their...
Well, you just even try it, right?
I'll check out the character selection or creation, maybe, and see if they have more options.
I think a game with money makes a lot of sense, like a game like GTA, where GTA Online allowed you to transfer your 360 character over to your Xbox One or whatever.
Well, jumping from a generation, yeah, that makes sense.
But, like, I mean, that game makes sense because... It's like, it's not level based. It's how much money I earned in the first game. So,
yeah. Oh, I'm gonna blow up, Matt.
Yeah, we went to a local diner, and the milkshakes are triple thick or something like that. And I feel like crap. Yeah.
All right, I think that's all for the what's new. Let's hop into some E3 news. Like I said, E3 is like over 6 months away.
Over?
Yeah,
less.
6 months. I'm sorry, it's 3 months. Over 3 months away.
78 days approximately.
It's 6 months Christmas, 6 months E3. 6 months Christmas, 6 months E3. That's how that formula works.
So the Xbox boss, Phil Spencer, has tweeted out kind of teasing what's going to happen at their conference. He says, I want to give our games more time on stage at E3. I sometimes feel like we rush telling the story of our games at E3. So this is what they kind of got criticized for in years past, where they talk a bunch and show very little of the game, right? They always come out and tell about how they're like working on this thing and how magical they're trying to make it, and they got kids running out playing with Connectimals and stuff. And then Sony last year was like non-stop back-to-back games, and people went nuts for it. And so I think
makes sense.
I think Microsoft's seen that, and they're going to try to focus more on the games this time.
Yeah.
Also, they got criticized for showing off TV features and stuff like that. Even though I was interested by that stuff.
And you know what? I think Microsoft did that right though. Being made fun of, fine. But they did it separately. And then a few months later, I think it was 2-3 months later, they were like, okay, now we're going to show games at E3.
Yeah.
That was the right way to do it. It's like, hey, you don't like this? Fine, turn it off. But come back at E3.
And I can't think of a lot of Xbox games in the pipeline, so maybe we're going to hear a lot.
Scalebound got canceled, right?
That's right. So they launched their big titles, right? Like Halo, the previous Forza came out, or not Halo. I mean Gears and Forza Horizon came out. So what else is there for them to?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see another Halo.
Of course, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. The thing, going back to the original point, is that I really kind of agree with him in that because I don't like when the developer comes out and he's like, oh, I put my like heart and soul into this and I really thought it would be great. Like, even every little detail from like to the raindrops is like, I'm really thinking about those and stuff. And it's like, that's great that you did that, and those details, whatever, they shine through maybe for some and some don't.
We mirror the dialogue from this character to that character. The exact same syllables, sentences.
That's what I mean. And I'm sort of like, I don't want to be told what to look out for. If I like what I see, I'm gonna make my own attachment to it.
Or like if it was that good, you'll notice it.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Like Days Gone to me was like super cool.
Fuck, I don't give a shit.
Oh,
The way I feel about this though is that I want something in the middle. I still want people talking and telling me about things, right? And I still want to see gameplay. But the Sony conference, while it was cool to see all those games,
yeah,
it felt like it was just a big sizzle reel of stuff. And it's like, you don't really need a conference for that. Just freaking show a YouTube clip of all the games coming out. Or just launch all your trailers online. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the point of having a stage at that point?
The point of it. Well, the point of it, they had that like live orchestra thing, but like, the main sort of point of it, I think, is supposed to be like, these are the biggest trailers. This is not like your standard run of the mill YouTube
I get
trailer.
That. I get that, but I still want a presentation of some sort.
I think Xbox will deliver that. I think this year you might get that, like that middle ground.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, it's a careful balance. There's always like low parts in the conferences.
Yeah,
where there's something no one cares about.
That's the thing.
If they can cut that fat off, that's fine.
Yeah.
So there you go. E3 Xbox's conference is on the Sunday. Remember that? Mark your calendars, kids, so you don't miss it. I think they're still doing the morning, right? Is it still in the morning on Sunday?
I can't. I thought it was 5. I think I have it in the
5
in the thing for. I'll take.
And then Bethesda is also on the Sunday.
Oh yeah, they're doing one.
Have they confirmed?
Yeah, I think they've confirmed, but
Bethesda's on the
I haven't
Sunday,
put it in the.
No, but have they
actual
confirmed
calendar.
this year? Because I know they like the first year they went.
Yeah, this year
They're like, we don't know, and then they're like, we're all like, yeah, you're doing it.
If I remember correctly, this year it is confirmed.
Okay. Nintendo, now they haven't had a huge presence at E3 since they got rid of their conferences and went to a Nintendo Direct that no one can find some years.
Yeah, it's Microsoft is slated for 5 p.m. our time.
If I recall correctly, the first year Nintendo did a Nintendo Direct for E3, they didn't let any of the journalists stream it on their websites.
I think you're
And
right.
so I didn't watch it because I didn't really know where to find it. Now, obviously, you can just go to Nintendo.com, but...
Nintendo, I know they do things differently, but come on, guys, like stuff like that.
So Nintendo executive Reggie Fils-Aimé, he has also commented on what their E3 plans are, and he says E3 is always a big time for Nintendo. He told this via Nintendo Everything and NeoGAF. We look at each E3 as a unique opportunity to tell our story, and we're going to have a big E3 this year. We're going to be showcasing a variety of games. So again, that's one of the criticisms of Nintendo for the Switch is not many games. We're probably going to see a bunch of games at their Nintendo Direct.
I will say absolutely that if they get a half decent library of games on that thing that interest me but do not that interest me but are not crossover, because I'd rather play it on my PS or whatever, and like are good for portable, I think I'd buy a Switch eventually.
I want the price to come down in Canada.
I'd personally wait for a bundle.
Yeah,
of a game I wanted.
That or a sale, I think.
Even that, yeah.
Because it's $400 in Canada, and then that hurts.
Because I always rip Nintendo a new one. I always like rip on them. But my thing is like I'm not totally against them if they do deliver something good.
Right,
like,
exactly. And the tech is cool. I think the tech is super cool.
That's what I mean. Like the Switch thing.
I kind of want to make a clip show of every bad thing you've ever said about Nintendo.
I'm fine with that.
Hire an intern to sift through the
But again,
audience.
this is me and Matt. We criticize Nintendo, but we want them to be successful. We want them to I mean, they are successful in their own way. But we want them to
be like mainstream.
Yeah.
Microsoft successful.
Yeah,
if possible.
If there's room, that might be one of their problems. Is there's just not room for them anymore. You know.
Yeah.
Because before you had PlayStation and Nintendo.
Yeah.
They were the two big guys, and then Microsoft said, "Hey, we want a console," and then they came in. Xbox original wasn't too big of a hit, but the 360 just blew everyone away, right? And then so they kind of shoved Nintendo to the side, I think.
You know what I want to know if and this is total theory, you know, me making this up at this moment, but I want to know that so your main consoles, your Microsofts and your PlayStations, and your Sonys, I guess, for equal comparison, are like, you buy your game. Generally speaking, you buy your game and that's it, and then you have like your online service. There's some subscription services, whatever, but overall that's how you do it. I want to know that if Nintendo can carve like an indie space Okay, so the games are normally, when they're in the indie space, cheaper. And this thing is portable. And you were mentioning, Ryan, that this could potentially be like a yearly upgrade or 2 years. Or...
Well, I was just saying that it would be cool if they kind of made the tablet portion, like the actual screen portion, upgradable. So in 1 year or 2 years, or whatever they decide, you can buy just that at a lower price, right?
Yeah.
And you can have higher spec, basically tablet essentially.
So this is my thing is like on your like your iPad, for example. You buy your games or you download your free ones, and then those are kind of attached to your account, and you can re-download them, and that's it.
Yeah.
I want to know if, and I don't think Nintendo's going to do this, but it would be interesting to see if Nintendo did something like that, but they had like a subscription, like a Netflix, where they never take anything away, but for the indie games. We haven't seen how many indie games are coming on there, but I can really see this being an indie box, and I'm wondering whether like if you were like, you know what. Here's a portable console that you can bring around. Don't treat it like they don't treat it like a normal console. It's like a thing like you said, where you can just upgrade it like the iPad. And it's like you want to pay like $10 a month, and you get online and you get every single indie game collection, all our entire indie game collection.
It'd be fascinating, but I don't know if the indie game scene is quite sustainable enough.
But that's the thing, though, is I find that a lot of indie games are either, they're early access and I want to try them, but I don't want to pay for them yet because they're not quite there, or they're interesting and I want to play them for 3 hours and then stop. So I think that something like a $10 a month subscription would be enough, because some of those indie games will suck you in, like Minecraft. When it was like, small indie, it's obviously blown up now. But when it was like a small indie game, like that really sucked people in. And there are gems like that around in the indie space, I'm sure. Maybe not at that scale, but at a bigger scale than normal. Mm-hmm. And like it would be interesting to see if they would thrive on that.
Yeah, but see, I think the problem is the Vita is now like an indie machine, right?
That's the thing, but like this is like a better one.
It's not quite sustainable.
But this is like a better one. No, because
it has the Nintendo titles on it as well.
Yes,
the Switch.
And the fact that like they would make it powerful enough to have your AAAs, but in the same breath, you just get the indie games as a part of that subscription. I want to know, because I think that people would kind of switch from the Vita at that point, because right now they're buying on the Vita, they're buying the games.
Yeah, and
maybe they're getting them a part of PS Plus, but generally speaking, they're purchasing them. So I don't know. That'd be interesting. Like that Game Pass for Microsoft really interests me.
Right.
But I'm wondering if
that actually interests me.
Like a super cheap one on Nintendo console that's portable would be super cool.
Yeah.
Do it up, Nintendo. Call me.
Adriano, if you could get all the third-party games you want on a Nintendo console, would you just have a Nintendo console?
Yep.
You don't care about the exclusives for either Xbox or Sony?
No, I can live without. And not to mention, an Xbox exclusive is also now a PC exclusive. So I would also have it.
Whoa!
What I'm getting at though is that right now your main console is essentially your PS4, right? You use your Wii U as your secondary console.
More my computer as my secondary, and the Wii U is a tertiary.
Okay, barring the PC.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you have it switched though? Would you have a Nintendo console?
Switch?
No. Would you have a Nintendo console as your main, and then still buy a PS4 for or tertiary or secondary console?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would. I'm fine. I would find a reason to try to make my Nintendo my main console.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Matt, what were you going to say?
I wasn't going to say anything.
You cut in and then I cut you off.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay.
That's weird. I don't remember saying that at all.
On to some bad news here. Well, depending on how you feel about this, GameStop is closing up to 225 stores worldwide. I'm imagining that's including EB Games, because there's EB Games in Canada and Australia and a bunch of other smaller countries.
Now, I don't know how the EB Games are laid out in other areas, but ours, I think, are sparse enough for our local ones to not really get hurt. We have one in Ancaster, one in Hamilton, like the up Hamilton that I know of. There might be a couple other ones, but Hamilton's sort of like geographically sparse.
There's Lime Ridge and
Lime Ridge.
Well, there's Lime Ridge,
Upper James,
Lime Ridge, Upper James,
Ancaster.
There's one
in downtown, right as soon as you technically enter Dundas, like right by McMaster.
Yeah, that's where we bought Yakuza.
Yeah. And
then there's, but like if you notice though, those are in like Dundas is its own community, Ancaster is its own community. On top of what we call the mountain here. Mm-hmm. On top of the mountain is one community. Lime Ridge is another area. Downtown's another area. You know what I mean? it's not like we have like mall, and then they're everywhere.
And they all seem pretty busy.
That's the thing.
Except for the Ancaster one.
Yeah, they have to
Ancaster
sell
one seems
those Funko Pops.
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly tell how much they're switching.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you walk in, you don't see games, you see toys. And the games are in the back,
Yeah.
And so they're clearly making more money off of, or they got the used stuff, the used titles all over the place. So yeah, this is following a lower than expected sales report, and they're closing 2 to 3% of its stores. So 225 is apparently 2 to 3% of their 7,500.
When you put it like that, it doesn't seem
like much.
Yeah.
But they're still going to save millions of dollars by doing that, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they may have a bunch of sort of like locations,
Dead locations,
dead locations, or like there was a mall and then there was a mall a block away, and they have them in both.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, come on.
I mean, at one point, Lime Ridge had two, had a GameStop
and
an EB Games.
I think that's when they tried to do their transition period,
and it
tried
didn't
to
work
swap
here.
over, and it didn't work, and people still went towards.
Well,
EB
what they need to do was close EB Games.
No,
I know. I actually started buying digitally because of that.
Why?
Because I was just like, I don't like this. I don't
I don't even go to EB Games now. Like I go.
No,
to,
but what I'm saying, if they wanted GameStop to take over, they needed to get rid of EB Games.
But then I think I would have went full digital. I think they would have pushed me.
You didn't like GameStop that much
because I remember Electronics Boutique.
Yeah.
And then it was EB Games because it was Electronics Boutique.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then they were like, we're going to switch it with GameStop. I'm like, well, that's lame, and I just left. That was the end of it. Like that was the end of that chapter.
From what I hear, no one likes going into GameStop in the U.S. either.
That's the thing. See, like, I wonder Canada might just be different. You know what I mean? It's different cultures, so we like buying the physical copies in EB.
I think it's also the idea of a Canadian company.
That too. That.
I think that's what people gravitate towards.
But it's not technically a Canadian company.
No, but it started off as a Canadian.
Right.
Tim Hortons is technically not Canadian anymore.
It's Canadian.
They're bought out by Burger King.
Burger King became Canadian.
Yeah, they moved over here
to save on taxes.
Now here's the question.
Stand corrected then.
I hardly ever see Burger Kings anymore, but
yeah, I'm telling you now, because they just little side thing because they've just bought Popeye's chicken, right?
I think so.
I'm going to call it now, and you can mark up so 169 as my testimony. They're going to buy a pizza place next, and then they're going to start opening up those 4
at road stops.
Yeah, those 4 section, those 4-part stops, and you're going to have a variety of whatever you want. So if you want Tim Hortons, you go to. If you want like coffee and pastries, you go Tim Hortons. If you want burgers, you go Burger King. If you want chicken, you go to Popeyes. If you want pizza, you go to whatever they end up buying. I'm going to guess like a pizza. I'm going to say pizza.
I don't think they can buy pizza.
I would buy pizza.
I don't think they can. I think Pizza is too successful by itself.
That or
I haven't seen their numbers, but
or like I don't know, something smaller like Geno's Pizza.
Burger King and Tim Hortons though combined, they could probably buy pizza.
Yeah, that's fair. Tim Hortons here. Yeah, that is fair.
They probably got the ducats.
Spend a hell of a lot of money at Tim Hortons.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. We're talking about freaking
GameStop,
Burger King.
EB Games.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
You know what I want to know is I want to know if they get out of the maybe not get out of, but like scale back a little bit on the memorabilia and start going into old games. But
they started to. They
don't put a retail price on it.
They started buying.
No, like you know how like those little shops downtown. Where like there's a bunch of shops in downtown Hamilton that are like they have old games and comics and stuff like that. Like maybe not getting into comics, their memorabilia, whatever. But then they have like one Shaq Fu or something. One Shaq Fu will be less than this Shaq Fu because it's like damaged. Its label is damaged.
Yeah.
Like I don't want it to be like all Shaq Fus are $10.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I wonder if that would save them because those are only available for the most part on physical copies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think the problem with toy stores, and if you notice, there's not really any toy stores left. There's a few, but not many. I wonder if they don't do well because they're really kind of a seasonal thing. It's not every day people go in and buy a bunch of toys all the time for birthdays here and there. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I've never like barring those moments, I've never like gone and been like, man, I really need to get a pop figure. Yeah. It's always like I'm at the store and I'm like, that's a really cool pop figure.
Or you go to Walmart,
Or you go to Walmart and then you're doing something else usually, and then you're like, that's a cool pop figure.
Yeah, I don't think the pop figures, they're like $15. They're probably only making like $5 off those things,
That's the thing.
So I don't know.
You know what? You know what EB needs to do, and you guys hate the subscriptions. You hate them, but you know that.
I'm not against the subscription. I'm just saying it's not. I don't like it as my only choice. Like give it to me as an alternative.
Yeah.
And give it to me at such a good value that it makes me want to go for it instead of a retail.
Well, I'm
not inherently against the subscription.
But like EB, for example, like you don't have the platinum card with EB. That's $15 a year, and you get 10% off recycled games, which are used.
Yeah,
games.
but
I don't buy
used
recycled
games.
No, but what I'm saying is I think that they need to bump that up to maybe like 10 a month, and then they need to start giving out like gift cards or just straight up credit, or like incentives, or you can build up points by keep paying, and then you can like buy one free full price game every year.
I think that would be better if it was actually like a reward system, because you get points. I don't know what the points are for. I went on the EB Games websites. I looked for there's like how to earn points. I click on that, and it doesn't tell me how to spend the points.
Yeah, I have a bunch of
What
points.
do I use the points for?
I don't know.
I had that once at a PetSmart. I kept on collecting points.
At a PetSmart.
Yeah, and they're like, do I collect points on this? Like, yeah. I'm like, what are these for? The cashier couldn't tell me. I just threw out my card. I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Just give it to
This is
her,
literally
just
taking
keep
up a
that.
slot in my wallet. I don't know what the.
It would be great if it was like buy like 10 games and get one recycled game free under $40 or something like that.
That
you know
would
what I
be
mean? Something to feel like you're actually making progress towards something instead of just earn these points, please.
That's what I mean. Like keep the points there, fine, but do something else. Like if I buy 3, recycled games, give me 130 and under free.
Yeah.
Easy. Mm-hmm. Because then, first of all, people would start buying physical.
Now I don't know if it would save them, but I think it would be nice.
No, but the thing is, though, is people would start going in for physical copies, but they could easily open an e-commerce store and just translate it to that.
Do you think now gaming seems to be bigger than ever nowadays?
Holy fuck! Sorry, this I've never seen this before. The entire opposite team bailed simultaneously just because we were wrecking.
Do they forfeit then, or what?
No, it's a quick play, so it gets replaced.
Okay.
But
Digital games, do you think that enough people are doing that's why EB Games is hurting? Because clearly consoles are selling up the wazoo, so people must be buying games on these consoles, right?
Well, I remember that Aaron was saying that it's cheaper because there's no sales tax. But I bought Ghost Recon digitally, and it had sales tax on it.
I don't have sales tax on mine.
Yeah,
But I bought it on Xbox.
That might be different.
Yeah.
Might be different. So, I mean, maybe that on PlayStation specifically is hurting them. I mean, it would be different per region as well, depending on how the laws are. But
Yeah. But the only reasoning why I hear that digital is not actually physically cheaper than retail is because they don't want to actually hurt the retail stores, because the retail stores are what sell the hardware for them.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
and this Xbox Live Pass subscription based system is not helping the situation. Because eventually, if Xbox and PlayStation want to go to a full subscription service, this is how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
They make the subscription better than the games, and then they just phase out the actual games or the retail version.
So I don't think there's much that could actually save GameStop at this point. I think every year they're slowly going to lose money. Because
yeah.
I want to go digital. My only thing stopping me from going digital is just the download size. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the download speed is just really like you're in the country, and even like I'm in a small town, and it's just not great for us.
Yeah.
Like Ghost Recon took me like all day and night. Like that's not great, and it kills the internet when it does that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things.
So if the games were still like 5 gigabytes like they were on last gen,
That's different.
I'd probably be all digital right
Yeah,
now.
be like you could download 3 in a night. You know?
Yeah.
How like if you guys had to download 60 to 70 gigs, how long would that take you?
Probably like 10 hours.
7 days. I'm not joking. 7 days.
I would
Because
say
because I'd have to.
7 hours for you?
10 hours. I'd say about 10 hours.
Because I set GTA 5 to download on Steam before I left, and just before as I was looking at it, it said about 10 hours remaining.
Yeah.
But actually, I don't think it'll probably be done when I go home.
See, my problem is like you guys see my internet acting bad most of the
It's actually
time.
bad right now. I almost lost that match.
When it's good, it's good. But when it's bad, it shuts down. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if internet was stable the entire time, about 10 hours to download.
My internet crashed yesterday when we were trying to buy Guardians tickets.
Yeah.
It was so bad that it just like nope.
Man, we need to start that company.
Yeah, a little bit. Man, we were looking at getting better internet in my house, and it's it's a mess.
But you ran in not to a technical issue, but more to a bureaucratic issue.
No, but that
or a sales issue, really.
I don't want to point fingers at somebody, and I'm not going to get like super into it, but if I go to somebody and say, I want to purchase this from you, I'm going to pay you like more money per month than what I'm paying you now.
Yeah.
Can you do this for me? And I'm not asking you for like, I don't want it for $4. I want it, I want to pay you $130 to $140 a month for some decent internet and a phone. And it's
getting really riled up there.
Yeah, because it's just, and it's like, I don't know about that, sir. It's like, well, then I'm done with you. Like, don't talk to me. Don't ever call me again. Leave me alone. Like,
it's so good. Can you take my money? No, I don't think we can do that.
I'm sorry, sir. We're gonna have to do 2 different account numbers. No, okay, right there. Boop. Like, hang up the phone. Like that one person I told you about kept saying you need to add more things in. I don't want to add. Like, just please.
So good.
Jesus.
All right, let's move on here. BioWare, they've had some criticism over Andromeda on the technical side. Weird facial animations in general. The game's like kind of buggy in certain areas and stuff. It's kind of hit or miss. I haven't ran into too many problems yet. I've maybe played like at least over 5 hours. Maybe 10 hours, and I haven't seen anything too bad that I've been like, hey, that needs to be fixed right now because I can't enjoy my game.
I think this is the thing that Adriana was saying was people are looking at the Mass Effect trilogy as like on this high pedestal, and then like everyone's like, yeah, that's not it's not as polished and polished whatever, but it's not as polished as this one. It works perfectly fine, and the gameplay is super fun, and the story's okay, but. That's not, that's an insult. It's like, come on.
And the story is not fantastic, but I love the idea of colonizing a new galaxy. So that's fun enough for me. I like going to a new planet and be like, oh, you gotta clear out this area and you gotta get this stuff ready and you gotta make the planet, you gotta terraform the planet and stuff, and then you can put a settlement up. I think that's really cool.
If they had like a full economy system in there too.
I want more control over my colonies. Actually, I want to do more of that in the game. But they don't allow that.
The thing is, though, is like with the other story, if you look at it, it was built up from 1 through 3.
Right.
Right?
They're trying to do it in one game, yeah.
This is, and like, imagine, like you can't say this story, in my opinion. I have not played the game, as a disclaimer, but you can't really say this game is bad if you guys are enjoying it, or if Ryan, maybe John hasn't played it, but like, if you're enjoying the game, and what's probably, I'm assuming, going to happen is the future games are going to be featuring your colonies that you set up, because it sounds like they're story things. So if it's like, I don't know, the Osiris colony is being attacked in, Andromeda 2, you're going to be like, Jesus, I built that place. Mm-hmm. And you're going to like want to go there. And that's what sort of builds up the story.
Well, I don't think they've said anything on sequels yet.
I don't know.
I think their plan was before this was that they weren't going to. This wasn't going to be part of a bigger story or a bigger trilogy. Like, this was supposed to be a standalone game.
Is it? Like, totally?
Yeah, and it's very much. I'm not saying that they will, but it's very much possible that another Mass Effect game could go back to the Milky Way galaxy.
I still want to see the Contact Wars.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Play as awesome. An early Elusive Man.
That would be amazing.
Get Martin Sheen back.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm fine with that.
We need a warrior.
That was a good role for him. I like that.
Yeah. Anything with Martin Sheen. He's fucking awesome.
So anyway, BioWare has released a statement after this feedback and criticism, and they said, we've received quite a bit of feedback, some of it positive and some of it critical. The feedback is an important part of our ongoing support of the game, and we can't wait to share more of our immediate plans with you on Tuesday, April 4th. They also said their team is working around the clock to gather information and plan outside solutions, and that you should still send in your feedback. Weird that they announced a day when they're going to announce what they're doing. They could have just waited until April 4th. I don't know why they had to,
I think it's maybe because people were crying for, why aren't you talking to us?
That's possible.
That's probably what it was. And
but they could just give the standard, yeah, we're working on it, updates on the way or something.
But no, but the people still don't, people kind of block that out now. They're like, you're still not talking to us. That's a computer talking to us.
Yeah. I'm a little curious to see what they'll fix. I do have one criticism. I have two criticisms. I know why they went to Andromeda.
I have 3, actually 5, 9.
I know why they went to Andromeda. I don't think they needed to. That's my one criticism. Milky Way's big enough. I don't think they understand how big it is.
It's a game, though.
The problem, though.
I understand they don't want to screw up the timeline. I get that.
The problem, but also the problem is, though, you would have, in order to, I think, to put a game into the Milky Way, any game to the Milky Way galaxy after that, you need to be able to satisfy everyone's choices. Because the thing with the original Mass Effect trilogy is there was every person's choice was canon to their own story. So they can't say, well, this is actually the way it should have happened, and this is the way that the timeline's going to go. So in order to do another game in the Milky Way galaxy, you would be pretty much undoing somebody's work.
Here's the thing, though. They could have done the exact same thing. Oh, we sent this team off into uncharted Milky Way galaxy space, right? Untouched by the rest of the Citadel species, right? And they could have set that team off a long time ago. Maybe in an unknown Mass Effect relay, they didn't know where it went, and so they put some guys in there and they sent them off.
The Omega 4
do they not have
relay,
long
per
range?
se?
Not that one. That one's bad.
What about
The other
long range
one.
communications? Do they have those within a galaxy?
No.
Through the Mass Effects, they do.
I don't... Really? I would imagine they wouldn't be able to...
Well, they can call for help.
Because what I'm saying is like with that, then now you're introducing a problem where like they'll have like some story in the Milky Way, and then someone will be like, "Why didn't you just call the colony that you fucking set up?"
I suppose, but I'm just saying, I find it a bit ridiculous to say we need a whole new galaxy to play in when the Milky Way is massive.
Well, people want a whole fresh experience.
No, the Milky Way is massive.
No, but they want to it's still the Milky Way. They want a fresh experience. They
Dude,
want
it will
a
be fresh,
totally different. They want to be out of there.
If we find a planet with life on it, it will be like nothing we've ever imagined.
No, but you got to remember, this is also game.
I think, but also Ryan, going back to the original Mass Effect trilogy, is there the Reapers will help them end wiping life
Everyone out
in the entire galaxy. Yes. So I think the idea is, well, if we leave, they can't kill us because that's not in their contract.
No, but we could have sent them out during the second game, just like this game did, right? And then by the time the third game's done and you've won, you know, they would have been safe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a minor complaint for me, just because I don't think they realize how big the actual Milky Way galaxy is. Second of all, I've only seen 2 brand new species in Andromeda, and they're both humanoid.
And they both speak English?
Well, their translator immediately works without any data whatsoever. It just knows how to translate alien languages, apparently, from a whole other galaxy.
Maybe that's part of the mystery of Andromeda.
Anyway, that's it. Those are just like on scientific levels.
Well, they're not gonna. They don't care about that.
They should.
No.
Also, the first planet we land on, we meet the enemy species. How convenient.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? Be like have there were 75 years of that's an interesting leaf.
Yes,
and
that's how it would be. Yeah.
No, that's how it would be.
Yeah.
But in a game, you want to be like, that's a nice looking blade of grass there.
Is it literally resumed into Andromeda and then first planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have just like a 2-minute montage of just like exploring a new planet and then finding nothing and giving up hope and then finally finding life, but then turns to be bad life and then
I can't.
Look,
wait.
I fucking wrote it in 2 seconds.
I can't wait for us to like go to another planet and somebody's like picking like cutting the grass or something.
Someone's there. Hey,
someone's cutting the grass. No, like we're cutting the grass.
Oh.
The colonizers are cutting the grass, and then we find out the grass was like a species and we're hurting it the whole time.
Oh my
or something.
God.
It's like, oh Jesus, what have we done?
That's really dangerous. Actually, that does freak me out.
Right?
Because you don't know how anything is going to be in another galaxy.
Like poplars from Futurama.
What are those?
Those were what they thought were popcorn-like.
Oh no!
Things, but turns out to be like offspring of another alien. But they're so addicting, and so good that the humans just kept on eating them.
I do sometimes freak myself out when I'm eating like fruit or something, and I like pop a strawberry in my mouth, and I'm like, what if that strawberry was live? You know,
it was.
I just started mashing on it. Yeah, it'd be horrible.
Not too bad, though.
This does get me excited. This game gets me excited. I want to colonize a planet in real life. I want to go to Mars. I want to terraform Mars.
Why do we care about Mars? There's nothing there. We need all the resources from Earth. It's just a waste of resources.
We don't know if nothing's there.
Well,
that is the mystery.
Get over there then.
That's what we're doing.
Fucking send Matt Damon.
Well, no.
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 All right.
Adrian had a big Matt Damon.
But don't you want to have a multi-planetary species? Think about that.
I don't care.
Isn't it cool though?
It's kind of cool, but I'm not leaving because I know what's going to happen is we're going to go out there, we're going to build a town, and then some like big alien with like a big gun is going to be like,
"No, that's not going to happen.
That was my space." Oh fuck! Here we go.
That's highly unlikely.
Or we're going to fight amongst ourselves. This moon was first landed on by an American ship, but then the Chinese came and they did this, and then someone else did this. So like, what are we going to do now?
You're not wrong there. That's
and then
probably,
it's like, oh fuck! Here we go.
That probably will happen. You're right. Yeah.
And it's going to be a big mess.
Emperor Trump says we must take planet.
But anyway, moving on to more EA news. Star Wars Battlefront 2 has been teased. They've released a title card, which Matt didn't like, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't like it, yeah.
It looked good to
Too
me.
bland, which is exactly what I expected.
Is it the Star Wars font? Because that's can I tell you something about every Star Wars game? That's what the font is for everything.
It's the Battlefront font, and then 2 at the end.
Yeah, okay.
That's lame.
No, it's cool.
Lame.
So yeah, they're going to be showing a trailer off, I guess, at Star Wars Celebration on April 15th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and 7:30 p.m. GMT. Also, they're going to be showing off, hopefully, the Last Jedi trailer at the same celebration.
Remember, that movie's coming out this year.
But Battlefront 2 is pretty exciting because we're getting a campaign for the first time.
Yeah.
Which will hopefully be good.
It'll be a Battlefield campaign, essentially.
Like this Battlefield 1 campaign, I wouldn't mind that. Even that's good enough, but I want more of a story-driven thing.
I mean, it probably won't be segmented, but
No, yeah. And this one's going to be more Force Awakens type battles and armor and characters and weapons and stuff. So that's always good. Good stuff. Last 2 stories. Destiny 2 was officially announced. They announced it first with a teaser image and then with a trailer of 2 trailers, actually, with Nathan Fillion as one of the characters. And I think the second one has Broyles. You remember Broyles from Fringe?
Yeah, and the hit game Quantum Break.
Was he in Quantum Break?
Yep.
He's also in Horizon Zero Dawn. And now I guess he's in Destiny.
Was
Look at his career going up in the video game industry.
He was in The Wire.
How you guys feel about Destiny 2?
You have to ask me how I feel about the first
Matt, you
Destiny.
want it? We like Destiny, remember?
the first one burned me.
But we liked it, remember?
I know. I did like it, though. Like, it was in the past. Like, the whole... After the Taken King, it burned me, and I don't want to be buying a Destiny 2, and then a year later, they're like, oh, but buy this other piece that comes with all the other stuff for the same price that you just paid. And it's like, come on.
They've already announced the first 2 expansions, too.
I'm done.
That there are 2 expansions. Like, you remember the first 2 DLCs we bought?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Oh, good.
But that doesn't mean that they're going to... I don't know. maybe we should wait like a year until like you can get the Ultimate Edition Destiny 2.
The instant you say I have to be waiting a year, I'm immediately like, wait a second here. Why are we compensating so much for this? If it's bad, let's move on.
Yeah. I'm interested. I want to see it first.
I would like to see it first.
But yeah, you're right. It did burn. I think it burned a lot of people too. So that will be interesting to see how this does. All right, let's move on to the Query Corner question. Now, this was
Philosophical Corner.
This was submitted by Adriano Petty.
Hi.
Yeah, not a listener, but it was submitted by a host.
I would love to meet another Adriano Petty, but I do not think one exists. That's not true. I don't think one exists in North America.
You got to join.
Wow.
You got to make a Facebook group.
I have tried Googling other Adriano Petties.
There's a lot of Italians in
Yeah, but the Petties, Pettis, we are related to all of them in this area of North America. We know them all. Like, we're all related.
Okay.
And I've Googled Adriano Petty. Like, I cannot find anything for North
You want to
America.
meet an Adriano Petty, not just Adriano. There's other Adrianos, right?
I've met other Adriano. I've met like 3 other ones.
You want an Adriano Petty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not there. My brother Giuliano Petty. There's another Giuliano Petty in Italy because people were accidentally tagging him in photos of my brother. So like a random guy was just coming up in the certain Facebook feeds as my brother. So it was hilarious. And he was like this super like bro guy, just like jacked and tats everywhere.
Well, your brother's kind of like that, isn't he?
No.
A little bit.
He's a little bit more scrawny, but he's not a bro. Actually, no, that's not true. He's a bro. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you're submitting this saying paid multiplayer maps and or DLC will eventually become free, kind of like what Titanfall 2 did.
Overwatch.
And Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
And in general, I think the last couple of years, a lot of games have had just free content. Battlefront had free content.
Yeah. And I'm saying this because of 2 main reasons. One, I think people are starting to see the fracturing of the player base due to split content.
Right.
And when you start to have paid maps, you're going to have the group of people who are going to be all in and buy it, and you have the group of people who will never buy it. and then you immediately have those two players who can never ever play with each other. So you not only have a game that's on different consoles, which means they'll never meet, then it's going to be split up between DLC map packs. So now you're just fracturing this down, and then depends on how many modes you have. If it's like Battlefront, where you have like 50 million different modes, and then like you're just going to start breaking down those player counts. And I can see them. I kind of maybe see like developers kind of getting sick of that, and maybe just saying we will just push all future map updates for free, and just pay for cosmetic stuff. And that goes into my second point is if you can get a good loot system going, like Overwatch, where people will pump reoccurring money into it, that will help you fund those alternate maps.
But how's that not different from microtransactions? The loot boxes in Overwatch are essentially microtransactions, are they not?
Yeah.
You're fine with that?
I'm fine with that.
What is
I'm okay with it if it doesn't affect, like, if it doesn't
make them better at playing.
It doesn't make it better. It's like as long as there aren't items that they can use in game, or it doesn't give them like ability increases, I don't care.
Okay.
What is the official definition of a microtransaction? Is it specifically for currency, or just anything in game that isn't an expansion?
For not even an expansion, anything that can be purchased over and over again. Anything that isn't, if it's something that you cannot restore as a purchase. That's
Okay.
a microtransaction.
So like clothing or like what gear would not be a microtransaction.
Yeah.
That's you pay it.
You buy
it.
it once, it's yours. I consider that downloadable content.
Okay. Yeah,
but
I think
loot boxes are microtransactions.
I think that's a fair definition. I get the fracturing part, but games are super expensive to make nowadays, and a lot of that money comes from the DLC. You know, so do you think there's enough for them to make up what they would make on DLC through these just buying loot boxes and cosmetic items?
Without actually looking at numbers and just pulling this out of my ass, yes.
Yes. Okay.
I have this weird like building off of that is like, I don't understand why games nowadays come out not finished. And I understand maybe there's parts where in which they want to like sell it, like you're saying, DLC and stuff. But there's times in which like it comes out like too early, and they add like free features that like should have been obviously in the base game. And there's like this weird thing where it's like, if a game isn't supported after it's released, people kind of like steer away from it, like anything nowadays. Mm-hmm. But it's like back in the day, any software comes out, that's it. You know, like maybe there'll be a patch here and there, but like, you know, generally speaking, you know, if you're on version 1, you're on version 1.
Yeah. And
no one cared. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to use this content. Now it's like, where's the next update? Where's this? Where's that? Where's that one more? It's like, what the heck's going on here? So I can see like your point in which like people are so hungry for content that they're going to like want that.
Yeah, but it's just like what, ignoring the specifics of like, and like the actual setting or the gameplay style of Battlefield and Titanfall 2. Like, those are two EA properties who are taking two very different approaches to the post-release game content. You have one where it's you're paying for a season pass and getting extra stuff, but then you have another one where all game content is free. All maps and all updates are just pushed to the as an update. Like just as like a consumer looking for longevity in a game, which one sounds more appealing?
Right.
It makes more sense from the consumer level, but I question whether they care.
For me, like, I would love to get some, like, I don't know if these numbers are even publicly released. I would love to see numbers on loot boxes in Overwatch.
How many people actually buy them?
And how many people are actually pumping money into it. And if it's reflective of like of loot boxes and chests, or like of microtransactions in mobile, like, I have to imagine it's quite a bit.
The thing with Battlefield though is they must be making money off of it somehow, because they have battle packs, which are essentially loot boxes. You can buy those. You can earn them as well. They have DLC for sale, and they also have Battlefield Premium, which I think entitles you to the DLC, along with other perks. So like I'm wondering like whether enough people are just buying stuff. They're willing to spend $300 on a game.
The thing is though, those battle packs were not part of the original game. They added those in later, right?
No, they were in the game.
They were in the game.
Yep. They weren't purchasable for a while, I think.
Really?
Yeah, the EA usually does that. Like over time, they start to like add microtransactions in.
Yeah.
Because they weren't purchasable, I don't think, Ryan.
I can't remember. I didn't care about them, so I didn't look into them.
But like, I mean, the battle packs aren't great. They're just camos for the most part, and some like puzzle pieces and crap.
And oftentimes they're for guns. I don't know where they are.
I've never gotten.
It's like here's a camo. Here's a camo for this gun. I go to look for the gun. Can't find it.
Well, I can usually find it, but I don't. Any of the guns that I use, I don't have camos for.
Yeah.
And I'm level like 48 on 2 consoles, so that's good.
I think Battlefield would have just been like if they had just done a completely customizable system where like all your clothing items, all your costumes were just out of loot boxes, and you gave that random element, and then you like pushed the what battle packs? You pushed like those battle packs to the player. I feel like that would have been like a more 2015-16 approach to a game. That Battlefield just still feels like a shooter,
traditional game,
season pass, like upgrade. Stick with the community by buying the season pass.
I wonder if Titanfall 2 did this because maybe they didn't have a big gamer base in the first game, so when it did get fractured, it got fractured pretty bad. When people did buy the DLC, or I wonder if they were trying to be competitive because they knew it was launching around Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty.
Possibly, but like now they're being competitive. One of their one of their own properties. That
was a weird choice.
Is a really weird choice, but it's like at the same time, it's like okay, so they have Battlefield, they have Titanfall 2, and they have Battlefront. So now they have like 3 titles which are being released over like a leapfrog 2-year system. It's like one of those has to double up, or one of those has to be released in an off season. It's like which one takes the hit. It's like you still want people to come back to Battlefield because that's what people like, but then you're also trying to push this new IP because you really want Titanfall 2 to take off, but you also need people. You want to satisfy the Star Wars fans by having Battlefront.
Right.
And it's just like
now it's kind of better to cannibalize yourself.
But EA believes that they're separate enough players.
I think the Star Wars is different enough.
Star Wars gets the Star Wars fans.
That's the thing.
And then Titanfall should have just been released side by side with like Star Wars.
It probably should have. It should have stayed away from Battlefield.
Yeah.
I think they were probably worried about too many sci-fis all in a row, and so they waited.
It's not really.
Like Star Wars
it's military. It's modern military enough to
Titans.
Yeah.
Shields and missiles and catching missiles and tossing them back.
Yeah, it's just like because like what's the other? There's another arena or team-based shooter that's coming out on PC.
Lawbreakers.
That's the one. And just like I would like to know what their plan is for post-release content. And yeah, I think it's a PC game. I don't even know if it's coming to console.
That's by Cliff, right?
Yeah,
Cliff Lazinski.
Yeah. So it's just like I would like to know if like they're planning to do like a a season pass, or if they're just going to say everything's free, but we're pushing the cosmetic stuff and we're pushing these loot boxes.
It's a good
even Division
Division
year and a half in, or about a year in, or has it been a year already?
Yeah, we're in year 2.
Yeah, so like a year in, it's like now all of a sudden they just like introduced a real currency system, like where
cosmetic,
it's like you can buy our premium credits to buy in-game currency stuff. It's like I would like to know how different this could have been is if they just had that from the beginning. Take your Phoenix credits or take your Dark Zone credits, take your regular fucking credits, and condense those down into one other one. Make it easy, and then just have your premium stuff, which you can buy with real money, or you can use in-game currency to buy at an extremely high rate. Don't make it easy for people to do it, but don't make it impossible either.
I think
and then that would that would alleviate some of the cost for for DLC.
I think that the DLC idea is decent. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world because we used to have expansion packs on PC back in the day. But yeah. I think that the thing that made them gross was starting with the online passes, then quickly followed by season passes. I understand the online passes is just general online stuff, but we started seeing monetization of games, I think, more at that point.
The thing with the expansion packs is like I get like I'm not even saying like I'm not saying like single player stuff. If fucking GTA 5 wants to come up with a single player story and they want to do 2 new characters,
I'll pay for that.
That makes sense. Like that is I'm not saying to completely make that free and base that on microtransactions. What I'm saying though is if it's simply just to keep your player base together. Like
and GTA is all the way you want it. It's all free.
Yeah,
online, GTA Online.
And in a world where you're having more and more shooters come out, whether it's like Lawbreakers or Overwatch or your EA properties, like these players are again, and like I'm gonna repeat this word, like they're just fracturing down, and then you're gonna like split again based on fucking server, whether or not it's a Microsoft server or it's what was the
PSN?
No, what was the game that Microsoft had to issue refunds on because there weren't enough people playing it on the Windows Store version?
That's COD, I think.
Was it a COD game?
I think it's COD. I think it's the latest one.
It's just like, it's like why even do this? First, and like not to mention,
that's weird. The whole Windows 10 separate thing is weird.
Yeah, and then not to mention PlayStation and Xbox should just be fucking flipping a switch and just combining player bases anyways.
And we're seeing separation in games like Civ. You on Mac, Ryan, can't play with us on Windows.
Yeah. Well, there's an update coming though.
I don't care. Like if somebody honestly if somebody's like, yeah, day one we're not gonna have cross-platform, but like cross-platform, it's computer and computer, bud.
Right. Yeah.
Like get it done or we're not shipping this. Like, come on. Jesus.
Yeah. I just like season passes. I remember when season passes came out, it wasn't on a basis of just like get all the DLC. It was the season passes, the idea of just giving you a discount if you want it all. Because I remember I remember hearing season pass for the first time. It was for Borderlands 2. And it was like, each of these are going to be $10 and there's going to be 4 packs at $10 each. Or if you buy them all together at the same time, you're getting it for $30. And so you're getting one for free. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. But now season passes, if they are there, are just, if you want the DLC, it's only season pass. It's like you have to pay the full amount.
Who's that? Who's doing the only season pass?
I can't remember. There was one game. It was Division on PS4 for a while. Buying it separately wasn't an option.
Really?
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I don't remember that myself.
I think you and I were trying to find out like the survival pack, and you and I couldn't find it on the PlayStation Store, and we could only find the season pass. And I think
we had to wait for it to come out or something, right? Like we couldn't just. I can't remember what happened.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what happened. I can't remember what it was, what the situation was. I don't know whether the game wasn't out yet or something had happened. Or the DLC wasn't out yet.
And there was another game I was looking at recently where it's like yeah, there's DLC for it, but it's like it's only season pass. It's like you either buy just a season pass and you get it all, or you don't buy anything at all. It's just like, really?
There's also like I really hate I'm going to use Civ 6 again. Civ 6, they had I was looking into buying it and there was a 20% off sale on Green Man Gaming. So I was like, okay, I'm interested in buying it at that price. I play Civ like crazy, and there was a deluxe edition and there was a regular edition. So in the regular priced version, the deluxe edition is $20 more. In the 20% off version, it was $20 more. So essentially, the deluxe pass or whatever wasn't discounted. So I bought the base game because it was cheaper. Mm-hmm. And what I found out was all of the deluxe expansions thus far, and I think they recently released one, so they might be done now, have literally just been nations and a scenario pack each.
Yeah.
And people are freaking out on Steam, and I do not blame them. $20 for 4 nations when there's already limited maps and limited nations in that game.
Right.
Like that game, I think what happened, honestly, I think Civ 5 blew up. Like they got a bunch of players.
Civ 5 was like one that became huge, yeah.
That's the thing. Civ Beyond Earth got kind of lukewarm because, it's space. So, a little bit too many games in space, I think, around that time. And then it was like, okay, let's do Civ 6. Let's cash cow it. And I think that's exactly what they're doing. And the thing is I'll probably end up buying all the stuff.
And these 4 nations, can you like somehow play with Ryan? Well, you know, when there's Mac Windows,
I know that
but like, are you able to play with your nation and Ryan not have to buy it and still play with them, or does Ryan have to own it?
Game? Like they show up when I go to my nation select. It says you don't have this content under the thing. So what I'm assuming, and I don't know, what I'm assuming is that I do have the data. I just don't have the license. So I think that would work. What you're saying, like Ryan,
I'd be able to see Matt playing as like Australia or whoever they added.
But you just can't do it yourself.
Yeah. Yes, but like. I think all of this comes back to, I think we're going full circle. I think you have a good point with the free DLC stuff. Is like we're going full circle where we started to monetize so much, and I think it's starting to fragment the segments and just break it down so much.
Yeah, and like most of these studios, they want people to stay with their game on a long term. It's just like why even put up the idea of a paywall? It's just like if you want people to stick around, like you have to. Either just release it and leave it as is, and if it's good enough, people will keep coming back, or just extend it for everyone.
And the thing is too is like there's the argument where it's like, oh well, like they put more hours in, you know, to building more content, so they want to charge more.
It's hilarious though, like when there's DLC available first day. It's just like clearly you guys are working on it during development.
That type of stuff is absolutely BS. And I think we've discussed in the previous episode where a game like The Division did a good job in which they have like been giving away a bunch of free stuff. And I have DLC, but I have no problem playing with you still. Like I can still level up, I can still do all this stuff, you know what I mean? And you don't have the DLC. So it's one of those things where I think that like they're at least doing the thing where you can keep pace. So if tomorrow you buy the DLC, you can just jump in. It's not like you have to go up another grind wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it. I understand if they had like, but then there's 3 new sections to the Dark Zone. They added 3, 7, 8, 9.
I think there's actually more than that, isn't there?
I thought it was 7,
I thought
8,
there
9.
were 4. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, I understand. It would have been really bad if they said, okay, now there's only Dark Zone for the season pass people.
Then it's like, Jesus Christ.
It's like, okay, so now you're just splitting everyone else again.
And if you couldn't get like let's just hypothetically say there was another gear score that was higher, and it was like season pass members could only receive, you know, gear score 300 or whatever. It'd be like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all bullshit.
We'll see where DLC is in the next coming couple of years.
More money.
I'm gonna say that
more money.
that I'm gonna call now that like the idea of multiplayer map packs and characters are going to like go away.
If I recall, Call of Duty map packs went up in price. I remember them being $10 each.
Jesus Christ.
Now they're $15 each.
You know what? Actually, I have one last point toward this. Then that you just made me think of this. In a situation in which you have a game that's given to you via subscription. So in this case, I'm talking specifically about EA Access. You're given a game in EA Access. You're paying for EA Access. Let's say you're playing, I don't know, Dragon Age Inquisition, which I assume is only the base game. I haven't actually played it yet.
That's probably where they want to make money.
Yeah, but the question is would you be more enticed at that point if you enjoy Dragon Age Inquisition to buy a DLC? I would say I would be more inclined. I'd be like, fuck yeah, I played this to death, and I got like a good deal because, you know, EA Access is pretty inexpensive. Hell yeah, I'll buy the DLC.
I don't know. That's a tough one. It had to be case by case for me.
I think the same.
Just because now I've gotten like DLC fatigued in the last couple of years, and now I look at it per game. It's like, do I care enough about this game to go through it? Some games I bought it, I've never even touched it. Some games fucking Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. I bought that DLC pack, which gives you like 3 new areas. I only went to one of them. I didn't even go to the other 2.
God damn it!
Because it's just like I can't be fucking bothered.
Here's the funny thing about DLC with me is I want the DLC to be there day one because I don't go back to games.
Right.
So I've even tried. Like I bought DLC for Mass Effect 2 and 3 and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna play Mass Effect again. I boot it up. I play it for like an hour, and I'm done.
Yeah, like for me that's why
I want it built into when I'm initially playing the game.
And that's why I'm waiting on Mass Effect because I only ever want to play that game twice if there's a lot of differences in the characters, but essentially I want to play everything when I play that. Mm-hmm. I don't want to ever have to go back.
Yeah. All right, that's it for this episode 169 of Damn Patch Podcast. You can catch us on iTunes. Leave us a review
on YouTube. Right? Is that happening, Matt?
Yeah, I'll toss it up.
YouTube, I guess, is happening, and
it'll probably be a day later. So
That's fine.
subscribe on iTunes for an exclusive.
You didn't have to because
early bird.
you didn't have to say that because if somebody is listening on YouTube, they wouldn't have known.
Yeah,
They just would have thought
if
that
you
it
like
was,
the show so much, you'll get an early bird special for 99 cents. No, you just subscribe on the iTunes or whatever your podcast app is.
I'm just waiting for iTunes to introduce paid podcasts.
God damn it.
Anyway, that's it. We'll see you guys.
Peace.